Low-income blacks pay substantially more of their income towards their rent than low-income whites. Approximately 127,000 families are on the NYCHA Section 8 waiting list. The number of available vouchers is shrinking in this time of need. Only 28% of blacks in New York own their own home, compared to 44% of whites. Some lenders routinely steer African American clients to subprime products, although they could easily qualify for standard loans.
We find that the unemployment rate for males that are white relative to males that are black are about twice as high. In other words, black males have about twice the unemployment rate as white males. First off, black males are crowded into undesirable low-wage jobs, and that leads to an excess of lower wages because of the overcrowding that takes place in that occupation.
And the importance, again, once more, of the industry has to do with 25% of the city's gross domestic product is represented by the construction industry. And you know, you talked a great deal about the mean income. The mean income of the top two-thirds in the industry was $69,000. And for the bottom third was $30,260. It remains one of the last paths to becoming middle class.
And I think that if you look at the 13th Amendment, you see in there where it states that slavery is abolished except if you're convicted of a crime. And so the fact of the matter is that when you see a disproportionate representation of blacks in New York's criminal justice system, it is by design. This is not a coincidence. In fact, we only make up 13% in total of the total population, but we represent over 65% of the prison population. And this is the case across the nation. Pick a state, Wyoming, Nebraska, whichever one you pick, you'll find that no matter what the percentage of blacks are in that state, we are the largest percentage in the criminal injustice system. And so we see large numbers of young people in the criminal justice system and in the foster care system as well. And as a result, they find themselves in what we are now calling a school to prison pipeline.
Out of these 25 boards, they had a total of 44 black directors. And when you looked at the overlaps, those individuals who served on more than one board, you came down to 38 individual black New Yorkers who served on these 25 boards. And I think that these employers and all institutions in New York City have a great challenge to fill the need here, and we have the people to do it. It's just that we're not getting the opportunity. I think that's very clear. Is, I think, incumbent upon us to train more of our young people to be interested in the not-for-profit world. We have to have a larger stake in that. I think too often that's a sector that is bypassed in favor of other areas of opportunity, and I don't blame young people for that, but I do think that we need to be showing them there's a great deal of potential in that area as well.
There's some of us operating out of a historical memory and others out of a personal experience. Thus, it makes it hard to organize against racism. Race is not skin color. Some of us know that, but it's still implied in the society. Yes. It's not ethnicity. It's not any of those things. Race defines your relationship to power, structural
That's
power.
right.
So as a white person, I might be the poorest or most oppressed. It's not about that. It's not about who suffered the most. It's who is legitimate in the construct of a nation. And so racism is this relationship that race has to structural power. It's not an individual phenomenon. It's not about who hates who and who said a wrong word. It's about institutionalized legitimacy that is very profitable to those for whom it was intended.